Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to touch base here on BOEING stock. This is a company that we have talked about a lot of times in the past, but here in the last week I made a video titled Why I'm Going All In on BOEING stock, and in that video I wanted you guys to kind of take a note of getting in on BOEING stock at the best price you could, because I told you in that video that once we left this 230 a share range, this would ultimately mean a massive rip for BOEING stock. And even though I set you guys off with some clear levels of support and resistance to buy, I know that a lot of you guys may not have taken the levels here to hop in at and may not have been as confident as other investors to hop in. So I want to make an update right now on if you are still looking at BOEING stock, if you didn't jump in on my original call out around the 208 a share, then right now is probably going to be one of the second best times to buy. So I want to show you exactly why I would consider buying at this level, what my goal is here, or what I'm looking at to happen with the chart over the next few weeks as far as BOEING stock, and ultimately what I'm going to be doing with my position now that this stock did break out all the way to 280 a share, and now that we were able to take some massive profits on those options that I showed you guys only just 2 weeks ago here on the channel. Now, if you did enjoy my last video here on the channel about BOEING, if you were able to profit, or if you just learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, because we're going to be having analyses on your favorite stock names here coming over the next few days, and there is really no shortage of plays here on the stock market, as the market really is cooling off, and a lot of plays that are good are shining even stronger than those that are selling off. So that was one of the case with BOEING, and that's exactly why I wanted you guys to take a look and trade this stock, especially after they got rejected at this 230 level. Now, in the last video that I made on BOEING, I explained how we had to look at the past to know what was going to be happening in the future. And lastly, we traded this breakout, and I told you guys that this breakout was going to basically give us the key levels that we need to watch as resistance and support. So that's exactly what we did. We looked in the past to see where our key levels were, and we were able to find that 190 was a key level of support. So as always, go back to that video if you want to figure out why we made that decision, and if you want to hear exactly what my opinion was on the stock back then. But obviously, guys, now we did see a bounce at that support price of 190, and BOEING has headed to the upside very rapidly here, all the way to 280 a share. Now, in that video, I told you guys it was going to be absolutely crucial for BOEING to break above the 200 EMA and hold. Now, essentially, the 200 EMA is this bluish green line here on the chart, and what this is going to represent is basically whether or not a stock is in the upwards direction or downwards direction in the long run. So obviously, I keep my eye on the 200 EMA to give me a direction, or to give me a basic indication of whether a stock has been growing in the long term or whether they have been shrinking in the long term. Now, with a lot of stock names over the last few weeks, they have now come below the EMA, the 200 EMA. You can see with stocks like AMD, they test very strongly here on the green line, but it is obvious that the stock is not ready to come back in an upwards direction. The same is happening with Apple right now as we speak. They are absolutely fighting with their 200 EMA, and this is a sign that they are either ready to come in the upwards direction, or if they break down from this level, then that will be a very obvious sign that they are not ready to continue their growth. So guys, keep a very close eye out on the 200 EMA, as it will show you a great indication of when you might have a good time to buy, or when a stock might be ripping back into that upwards direction, signaling that it might be a great time to trade with some momentum. Now, looking at BOEING specifically right now, I want to show you guys exactly when I'm planning to add more shares to this company, what I'm going to do with my personal position, and obviously what the new levels of support and resistance are here with BOEING stock. Now, over the last few days, they have very clearly ripped out from this 230 range, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to touch base on them again, because I feel like they are now ready to make a leg up, a second kind of move here as a result of this first breakout. And now that we are pulling back so strongly, I think that this is going to give us a very significant chance to jump in again on BOEING for anybody who might have missed them back when we mentioned them at 190 a share. So looking at BOEING here more specifically, and getting in now to what exactly I'm seeing as the new support and resistance levels, it's going to be extremely important for you guys to understand one of the most basic parts of technical analysis. And you may have heard this before, because it is so important to know if you are trading any type of chart setup or any type of pattern here from the technical analysis perspective, you're going to need to know that when a level of support or resistance is broken, and if the stock's price comes back to this level, then it will act as the opposite of what it was doing originally. So what do I mean by that? Obviously, it might sound very confusing to understand at first, but when you take a look here at the chart, it becomes very, very obvious what I'm talking about. So like I said, when a level of resistance or support is broken, 233 was our level of resistance, and you can see that now it was massively broken with a run from 230 all the way to 280, and that's one of the main reasons why we look at these levels of resistance and support, because they usually represent a great moment with some great volatility where people are going to see this price, identify it, and when it breaks, they're going to jump in massively, which is what you can see happen with Boeing with this last run from 230 to 280. But now they are selling off, so this is where the second part of the equation comes in. When a level of resistance or support is broken and the price trends back towards that area, then the action is going to be exactly the opposite. So right now, this was a level of resistance, but you can see we're coming back to that 230, and now this 230 should act as a level of support. So obviously, if we have confirmation of a breakout, then 230 will be a level of support, and we can watch 230 as a bouncing point coming up to $300 here a share on Boeing company, on Boeing stock. And that's ultimately what I'm hoping to happen here over the next few days. And I really think that it is no coincidence that Boeing is not only bouncing from a support at 233, if they do bounce at 233, but that also this coincides perfectly with their 200 EMA. Now, I want to say it again, 200 EMA is the bluish green line on the chart, and it's going to basically show you whether a stock is in an upwards or downwards direction. And like you saw with AMD and Apple, those stocks are very much fighting their 200 EMA. So I feel like Boeing will be in the same scenario here. We'll be fighting against their 200 EMA, and then sometime later this week will give us a better indication of whether they are ready to continue to the upside or potentially breaking back down below 233, which is our current support price, back down to 210 or 190. Now, I don't personally think this is going to happen, but I do see a lot of weakness here with the market, and I want you guys to be prepared in case of a worst case scenario. Now, with my personal position on Boeing, I had the options contracts that you guys saw in my last video, and that I posted in the free Discord, which is going to be linked down below. So anybody who was in the Discord for absolutely free got a chance to get that play at the same exact time I bought it. I put it there literally within minutes of buying it, and every single percentage of the profits that I made were possible for you to make as well on that same day and following. So as always, make sure you check that out. And also check out the link to the TradingView, which is the platform that I'm working on here today and showing you all my technical analysis on, which is also going to be linked for free down in the description below. But just to wrap up here, I want to touch base again on what exactly I'm going to be doing with my personal position. Now, like I said, I had a ton of options here, riding all the way up to around 270 a share. I didn't sell at the exact top, but I was able to see that Boeing was having some of the clear signs that they were ready to basically pull back. And after a monster run from 230 to 280, this is going to be something that is obviously ready to happen. And for that reason, I pulled out of my full share and options position with Boeing, but I'm looking to hop in again very soon if they can see a great retest of that 233 as support, and if the 200 EMA can hold as a bouncing point and give us a clear indication that this stock is meant to continue to the upside, then that will ultimately be where I'm jumping in again. I'm looking to buy almost a month and a half or 2 months of options again in advance. Same thing that I did the last time and we were so profitable on. So again, guys, this is not a hard trade to make. You just need to watch these clear levels of support and resistance. And Boeing is one where they really don't come near these levels, or they don't leak out too far. And the levels are going to be a great indication of where you should buy and sell, because this stock doesn't have a lot of extra movement. And sometimes stocks will come to this support and leak down all the way to even 180 or 170, then bounce back up. But fortunately, Boeing has been one of those names where they give us some very clean and clear levels. So as always, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, learned anything new, or just enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe down below. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate the support over the last few days. But as always, guys, I hope all your trades are in the green.